All right, welcome everybody to another exciting episode of Reading ATF Comments. So we're going to go to, I'm not screen sharing yet. Let's screen share the screen. And now we are screen sharing so everybody can follow along. This is the comments. So if you're out there and you're a human and you're not a lurker, then you can feel free to use your keyboard or your piece of glass with your finger to wiggle on there and make words happen. And that's how you participate in what we're doing here. I am going to remove me from here because I don't need to be on here. And now we're looking at the, I did it wrong. Let's go back. We are looking at the description of this video. It says that there's 4 people watching. Oh, there's a person. Eventually I'll see this happen over here. Eventually. There you go. Grandpa's out there. Good morning. What am I trying to say? Don't say good weekend. What the hell am I trying to say? Hope you're having a good weekend. Maybe that'll work. We're at the video description here. I'm going to first right-click and open in a new window the 2 comment periods. The first one is the ATF comment period on its concept of redefining the firearm, and the second is the ATF comment period on factoring criteria for firearms with attached stabilizing braces, well, like most people refer to it as the pistol brace 1. And now we're going to edit the video that we're watching right now. It's legal. A lot of people will never bother to edit their own video while you're watching them, but I do it all the time. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the redefinition of firearms receivers, and I'm going to drop the magnification of the page so that you people can see it better. And now we're over here and we can see that the last time we did this, which was I think 2 days ago, the number of comments that were sent to the ATF were 91,080. A couple of days later, we're at 93,011. So let me change that. So that means approximately 2,000 new comments have come in for the redefinition of firearms. And of those, some of them are approved. Before it was 89,000, and now it is, actually before it was 89,950, so it was only 50 away from 90,000. Now it is 91,780. So let me change this, 91,780. So we're seeing, again, a high ratio, almost 100% ratio of comments approved versus how many are received, and we're seeing a basically stagnant number of comments coming in. I suspect the number of comments coming in, we're going to figure this out in a second here, but I'll bet you it'll be a bunch of antis because they're the ones sucking up to this one. They're going to take guns away from us with this one. And then it'll be a bunch of the people who have probably already commented. I shouldn't say that. It'll be people who have already commented making the real comments, probably, I'm guessing. And then, of course, boilerplate. Now, are those boilerplates re-boilerplates? There's no way to know. They're just boilerplates. All right, so we'll find that out in a minute. Next, let's go over to factoring criteria for firearms with attached stabilizing braces. Before, last time we were here, there were, oh my goodness, 121,539 comments received, and now there are 121,952. So that means only 400 comments have come in, 450 comments, 420 comments have come in days. So where before the industry was all behind pistol braces and pushing everybody to support the pistol brace comment period, now we're seeing it be empty, literally none. 400 in days? We might as well give them pistol braces. We don't want pistol braces anymore. So let's make this 952. And then of those, they've literally got 100%. I mean, there's 121,100 of the 121,900. They've approved all but 800 comments. This is shenanigans. This is fakery. Everything about this is wrong. It's a hoax. So we're clicking save, and we're archiving this. Nobody else is even paying attention to the comment periods because everybody else is willing to give up guns. But we're archiving it. Every time we do one of these, we update it at the beginning like this. Archiving this. Oops. So what you'll find is if somebody wanted to go through our videos and chart this on a graph, some people like spreadsheets and doing stuff like that. I think what you'll find is just a dead, it all went dead. And that's that line of no increase at all is the runway that they'll use to take away our guns. Let's see. Hey man, feel free to check out my new video. I was at the range a couple of days ago. Okay. I usually don't watch range videos. I watch 2A videos, and that's about it. And I watch conversations about guns and stuff, but I've been around guns too long to care about shooting guns or watching people shoot guns. So anyway, thanks for the heads up though. All right, so now we have the video that we're watching here, the video that you're in. Oh, if it's 2A, then I might check it out. Thanks. So this one's updated. It's like I say, you can follow the numbers there on the other videos or what. But I think at this point, we don't need this anymore because that's all I do this for. Wish I could comment, but as I am in the UK, it's against US law for me to do so. But some need to comment to look at the UK. But some need to comment to look at the UK where the guns and firearms are banned is the most crime. I appreciate it because you only have so much room to type in one of these things. I think I understand what you're saying there. So first off, thanks for the support from afar, because I think that in the bigger picture, we're all in this together, and civil right of firearms ownership, the individual right of leave me alone, and the society that is created when people have a self-interest, a respect built on their own self-interest for each other. I think that creates a community that is more peaceful. I think that in the big picture, when we have better laws here and then precedent, time gets spent on the clock with those better laws, ideally other countries will be able to use those. So while some people look at 2A as a pie, even though pies suck compared to cake, a lot of people, especially the greedy or the people seeking fame and fortune, they're going to look at 2A as a pie, and they're going to say, oh, well, if we solve 2A in this country, which is definitely doable in the next couple of years if we really wanted to. So arguably, I'll debate anybody that this is the best time in all of history to take on 2A and to solve it in this country. A lot of the people that are greedy and basically don't see the future or can't or don't have any ambition other than to take easy money, they'll think that when we solve 2A here in this country that it's over, but it's not. Then we can help other countries by setting an example or literally helping them in other ways to achieve what we are planning on achieving here. And really, it's just getting back your rights. In most countries, you've had the right. It's been taken from you. But yeah, I agree that if we were to focus on some of the other countries' results, that would be different. I haven't seen many comments that do that. I don't know how effective those are, but I think they can be a useful counterpoint to the people that would suggest that we should be like other metric countries that are so good in metric or whatever, and safe in metric or whatever. In the parts of the UK where you can still own plenty of guns and firearms, there are no crime or very little. Again, yeah, I think that's what happens, right? Is the community that was created when there's a mutual respect for each other's property and lives, because there's self-interest in keeping your own, then that does do what you just said there. All right, so I just got done listening to Ken's podcast he posted this morning. So if you want to check that out, let me jump over to the YouTube. Where is it? Here it is. If you want to check out the video, there's the video, and he does an update on what's going on in his life and whatnot. So there's the video. But then Ken's got a pretty cool channel, or I should say project going with his own website over here, the Ken Blanchard Network. And I'm going to encourage you to check it out and perhaps buy Ken a cup of coffee. He's one of the dudes that inspired me in the 1990s to give a shit and to do stuff, not just do stuff online, but to do 2A stuff, gun stuff. And he could use some assistance, he could use a help. And we've a huge community here. We've helped lots of people in the past. And Ken's an awesome dude. So I'm going to encourage you to check out his project, check out his videos. And if you're so inclined and able, buy him a cup of coffee. You can give him $25. I'm sure that'll help him out. And once you listen to the podcast, you'll understand you could use it. So thanks for that. So next, let's dig into the definition of frame or receiver identification of firearm. All right, so what we'll do now is flip over to the comments tab, even though, what did we say? How many comments came in? Like hundreds of comments came in. We're going to flip it to newest to oldest. And then we're going to right click and open in a new tab. So I do this for the first 25 or so comments. Unfortunately, at the beginning of all this and in past comment periods, if I were to open up 25 of the most recent comments, it would take a long time to read those because each one would be lengthy, potentially each one would be unique. I would be reading each one, and it'd be useful because often when you have a lot of individual comments, they have a spectrum of focus of perspective, right? So they often give people ideas. I think Barbecue horked something like 80 topics from some of the readings in the past. Now, what unfortunately we found recently, most recently in reading these things, is that it's going to be a bunch of boilerplate, copy and paste from both sides. And with this one, we're going to, if it's anything like the past, we're going to see a bunch of anti-rhetoric built in here or included in here. All right, so let's check some of these comments and then we'll get started. Big Tony in Tennessee and others can tell you I've put $2,000 into the USA so far this year for 2A. I do what I can with what little I have. Thank you. Well, that's awesome. Money is awesome, and money means different stuff to everybody because everybody's got a different amount of it, right? And people and projects, need it for different ways and different levels. So I appreciate the movement of that capital or that interest in what we're doing. But I would also let you know that your voice and your abilities of using the digits on the computer here are super useful too. Commenting, letting people know that they're appreciated to content creators helps a lot. And then leaving positive comments, useful comments, inspirational comments in the comment fields. There's a lot of people that participate in these chats. There's a heck of a lot of observers and the losers that just don't do anything. But the people that participate really do get a lot from the comments that are engaging. Is that the right word? So appreciate it, and you've been doing that already in this one, so thanks. So I just want to say, understand that you've got that resource as well, and that doesn't cost anything but your time and your intent. And it's a way to exercise some real fun. The internet is an awesome tool for that kind of leveraging and usefulness, or whatever that's called. All right, the USA and the Czech Republic. I can't say Czech Republic because I grew up with Czechoslovakia. I'm going to just say Czechoslovakia. If that offends people, then I guess that'll happen. So the USA and Czechoslovakia are now 2A brother countries. Okay, I'm down with that. Except that, are we brothers or are we sisters? So gender. I don't know what this is. Some sort of little flaggy thing. All right. I heard the Czech got Second Amendment or insisted upon their Second Amendment. It's good to hear. Yes, that's the best place in Europe, and Jersey is the best case in UK. Oh, you're saying Europe is different than UK? And then Czech Republic and Poland have a lot of gun rights. That's the thing. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Poland. I think once you get clobbered on by Nazis, you get kind of resistant to being clobbered on. Actually, once you get clobbered on by Nazis and then clobbered on by communists, you probably get sick of being clobbered on. I hope many European countries keep growing their 2A rights. I think they will, because again, we can lead the way with example and assistance, right? I don't think the UK will ever get any gun rights back. Well, let's quit talking about that. So we're done. So I'm not going to keep talking about England anymore, talking about our pistol stuff. So there's probably lots of other chats where you guys can talk about your Europe crap. All right, so now we're digging into the comments here from the redefinition of firearms, the more important of the two. So comment, I'm going to go ahead and zoom this thing back out so that you people can read it easier. All right, so comment number 90808. This rule is quite possibly one of the most flagrantly anti-Second Amendment rules I have ever seen. This rule, at its core, is defining that which can only be defined by Congress. The ATF needs to stay in their lane. This changing of the definitions of what is a frame, receiver, or firearm is 100% arbitrary and changes every part and piece of a firearm into a firearm, I guess. How is a barrel a firearm? How is a gas tube or a gas block or the handle on a bolt action rifle a firearm? This proposed rule change is nothing more than an attempt to illegally regulate the building of firearms at home. Well, I like to see that being the first comment. Nice. All right, next up is 90800. As the Second Amendment is as clear and total ban on government interference with our right to keep and bear arms, the F in ATF is clearly an unconstitutional agency. Quick snap for that one, because that's awesome. We got some good ones coming in. This is a good Saturday. I can feel it. 90804. The proposed changes will do nothing to change crimes currently taking place in this country. Until existing laws are enforced and the court system stops releasing violent offenders, nothing will change. All these regulations do is further infringe on all Americans' Second Amendment rights. Do not make innocent Americans criminals by extending government overreach with unclear and arbitrary definitions. So snap on that one. That was awesome. So this is good. So now people, even though there's only like 16 comments, as I suspected, the people that are writing these are probably, let's just say, veteran writers. They've written a couple before. Comment number 90783. This is a violation to the Second Amendment, as all gun laws are. You are changing the definition of parts to firearms, which would create chaos amongst the gun community, as it would have an effect on a large part of the members, resulting in them becoming criminals. Almost all your proposals would have resulted in making law-abiding citizens into criminals if they were passed. If this is what you intend to do, what is the point of following the law when at any given moment you can and will change your definition just because you feel like it? You haven't done anything that stops criminals from gaining access to firearms, only law-abiding citizens. Truly a disgrace and a disaster to those you're supposed to serve. Man, this is a great day for comments. We're talking about England over here. We got an awesome comment thing going on over here. 90780. This disaster of a thought of a rule is only a traitorous attempt to make firearms more illegal for the population while doing zilch for stopping violent crimes. Criminals don't follow laws. They use stolen guns and guns the government gives through your shady dealings. They use the black market, which a collection really of the two. Stop attempting to make firearm ownership a crime and getting ready subjugate the American people with your power agenda. I'm not reading that good. Voluntarily disband. Go be agents in other agencies. I like that one a lot. First it says zilch, which you don't get very often. And then it says voluntarily disband. That we don't see that very often in a comment, and that's an awesome comment. Next up is 90798. I'm going to open this up one more time because I can't hardly read it for you people so that you can read it. We'll open this up. This revised proposal will do absolutely nothing to help law enforcement nor stop crime. It just puts an undue burden on lawful gun manufacturers. If gun manufacturer serializes every part of the firearm, as proposed by this new rule, the firearm will become too unaffordable to the people who need it the most. I oppose this new proposal. Money. They need to learn that not everybody's sitting on their fancy Rolexes or whatever the ATF does. So next up is 90788. The ATF proposed rule, ATF 2021 R-05, would broadly redefine firearm and frame a receiver to expand the number and types of firearms that the ATF would consider regulated firearms. This would be a disaster to the firearms industry and individual gun owners who enjoy building their own firearms. It is also an unconstitutional attempt to legislate via regulation. Adding insult to injury, the proposed rule seems almost intentionally vague and unclear, making it a nightmare to determine what would be legal or not. Ergo, I stand staunchly against and do hereby voice my opposition to ATF 2021 R-05. Dang it, today's awesome for comments. Too bad there's like 6 of them. Otherwise, this would be amazing. 90802. Damn it, this is a boilerplate. I thought that was good. Boilerplate. 2 different comments, the exact same boilerplate. Next up is 90809. I disagree with this proposed rule by the ATF. Our Constitution states the Second Amendment shall not be infringed, for what it is protect both our citizens and country. I like it. It tells them I disagree with it and tells them to F off. Nicely. Well done. This is another one. 90812. Stop trying to make law-abiding citizens into felons. Doesn't tell them to stop that thing, but it tells them to stop, so it works. Next is 90816. Since the beginnings of this country, citizens built, used, and maintained their own weapons. Our right to possess and carry firearms predates the founding of this nation. Government has no right to interfere with my rights. I carry daily and will continue to carry to protect myself, family, and innocent civilians. You risk awakening a sleeping giant. Whatever. Next up is 90778. All weapons restrictions are infringements. Waco Chipman is an evil, deep state, murderous operative who would love nothing more than to take our guns piece by piece and eventually be able to enslave and kill the majority of the population. He is another blood drinker filled with spirit of Satan. All right, next up. Yeah, they're going to really like that one. Next up is 90787. We don't another anti-Second Amendment person. We need someone that respects the Constitution and the American people. Oh, that's 2 of them in a row against Chipman. So they've got us. They got us by putting more than one thing in front of us at once. We can't keep up. Let's put it this way. 90771. I'll just simply put down a hard no. All right. Next up is 90886. Hey, look at who's in here. Shortest commercial ever. 90886. The definition of a receiver is and always has been a very tumultuous decision, whether it be what parts are regulated or what constitutes as unregulated. That being said, this new ruling changing the definition of what constitutes as a receiver would not only further complicate the process of buying and making firearms for personal use, it would also potentially make dozens of felons overnight due to something that bureaucratic ruling could not come to a solid agreement on. In short, no, I do not agree that we should change the definition of receiver, nor does the majority of Americans that do not blindly follow orders that tout such nonsense. Well, you don't see tout very often either. Comment number 90902. That's a good number. Stop ATF from expanding powers. Small government is good for freedom. Well, all right, but maybe say don't do that thing that you're commenting on. Next up is the best comment ever, 90909. Ugh, god dang it. How come every time there's a good one, they take it? So I am writing in support of the ATF's rule, boilerplate from every town for gun idiots. So next up is 90930. The ATF's unconstitutional and un-American actions are a detriment to this country. Normal people are far too caught up in their day-to-day lives to worry about the constant and slow erosion of their rights and freedoms. Hopefully, Hopefully they will wake up soon enough and not be boiled alive in the slowly heating waters of communism. You will own nothing and be happy, or else. Down with tyrant and God bless America. P.S. We haven't forgotten about Waco. It didn't say to not do the thing, so put that in there. I think it's a bad thing to say, P.S. We haven't forgotten about Waco or Ruby Ridge or any of the other atrocities that the ATF has put out. Those are just the ones that resulted in dozens, well, in one case, dozens of deaths, and in the other case, a death of a mom, a baby, and a son. But there's other situations where they just haven't killed a bunch of people, where they've been just as tyrannical. So learn about the other ones, and there's nothing wrong with reminding them that there are employees and they have a history of being tyrannical. Next up is 90879. I am opposed to the proposed rule to redefine a frame and receiver. In the text itself, the current concern by the ATF is that the courts have too narrowly defined these parts, and as many as 90% of firearms may not be so classified. This is exactly the point. Attempting to redefine a piece of a firearm as a firearm serves no other purpose than to circumvent various court rulings that have more narrowly defined these parts. My grave concern here is that the ATF is attempting to become a quasi-judicial legislative body by imposing their own interpretation and not abiding by the rules of the various courts. The ATF's explicit purpose is to enforce laws and regulations put in place by the legislative branch, as interpreted by the courts, not to attempt to redefine the law to suit their own purposes. This appears to be an attempt to further restrict Second Amendment rights of all Americans by placing these parts under the FFA and thereby impose onerous taxes and registration processes, which will have the effect of placing firearm ownership out of the reach of poorer Americans who would otherwise be able to get them. This is a gross overstepping of the ATF's authority. The ATF needs to stay within their clear mandate to enforce laws and regulations and stop trying to change the law without going through the appropriate legal and constitutional path of the legislature. Please remove this rule. I don't know. I mean, they could have put a carriage return once in a while, make this into a couple of paragraphs, but I don't know if we've seen a better chunk of words right there that tells the ATF to bounce in with this. That was a good one. Are you talking about Canada? They're talking about other countries in here, G23. We got a European chat going on today. Next up is comment 90888. Hello and good day. My comment and opposition to this change of definition is as follows. As an enforcement agency, it is not within your power to redefine anything, especially when it will affect millions of American citizens. It is to enforce the laws on the books. The redefinition of the firearms parts and redefinition of firearms generally should be handled by the legislature and no one else. The details of your proposition are irrelevant, as they should not be allowed to even be asked. That is why we have three separate branches of government. You are part of the executive branch, so should only pursue enforcement of laws and to only ensure the safety and prosperity of law-abiding citizens. It is not your purview to create new regulations and rules to further erode our natural right of self-protection protected by the Second Amendment of the Bill of Rights. I strongly oppose all aspects of your proposition as they are not under your power to control, will not save lives or reduce crime, and will make Americans less free. Thank you, Joseph. And he just puts his first name. That's awesome. So, awesome. Really good. Boom. What was the number on the last one? The one that started with hello and good day was comment number 90888. The one before that, which was a really good one, was 90879. And that one started with, I am opposed to the proposed rule in the text itself, and then blah, blah, blah. And then it says, please remove this rule. So I think that might be the one you're talking about because of the lag, but 90879 was that one. The one before that was, we haven't forgot Waco. that was 90930. There. I put the ATF in its place. Yep. There's Patriot. Good afternoon. And I might say America. I don't think the whole hemisphere is watching. Back in the olden days, so before there was gun channels, which lasted from 2013 to 2021, and no, 20, and then before that, there was gunchat.net, and that was a forum that we had for, I don't know, let's say 7 years also, right? And on that forum, we had a dude who traveled the country on his motorcycle. He lived in maybe Georgia or someplace over there, and then like his passion was going on these long motorcycle trips. And his point often in the comments was, when we go around calling ourselves Americans, that's like saying we live on this hemisphere, because we live on a continent called North America, which also has a Central America and a South America. And this half of the world is better than the other half of the world for sure. But this half of the world is the Americas. So when we say American, everybody in this whole hemisphere can say American. Like everyone on this half of the planet can say they're Americans. So when he would always say, we're United States citizens. So he would always make that a point. And I've since then attempted to do that as well. I don't have as strong of feelings as that guy. But anyway, when Patriot came in and said that, I figured it was a good opportunity to blab about that. All right, so now I think we're on to the next one, which unfortunately looks like 90892. I am writing in support of the ATF's proposed rule that would stop the proliferation of deadly and untraceable ghost guns. So that's called boilerplate from Everytown for gun dumbasses. So next up is 90904. This action would end up turning innocent law-abiding citizens into criminals overnight. It is a complete violation of our Second Amendment rights. Well, we're all the good part. That's the thing. I think this hemisphere should come together and just be the awesomest hemisphere. While we are dealing with ATF definition change proposals, you know, I've been seeing a lot of wins these past days while we are dealing with the ATF definition change. Keep this up. We are in the right direction. I believe so too. I don't know. I'd like to hear what wins, but I mean, there have been a lot of things going on in the news. I try not to watch the day-to-day news, so I'd definitely be interested in a summary of some of the wins. There must have been some. I know there was somebody that was, or maybe a GOA post or an FPC post that was congratulating something that happened out east. But I just haven't had the ability to keep up on all the day-to-day news. But that's good to hear. I definitely would rather hear people say, or rather, it's good to hear people with optimistic perspective on it. All right, next up is 90915. Same one. So basically copy and paste from Everytown for dumbasses. Next up is 90928. I think it's boilerplate, but it doesn't look like boilerplate. So if it is boilerplate, GOA and Guns and Gadgets. Yeah, so I think Jared is the one that posted something that was positive. I just can't think of it right this second because I'm reading all this. But yeah, I think Jared's doing a good job. Well, the best job, really, of all the YouTubers. Next up is REATF 2021 R-05. Since the founding of the Republic, Americans have made firearms at home. This is definitely boilerplate from GOA. I'm not reading it. What? An error has occurred. What? All right. We're busting the government regulations.gov. I wonder if people are getting glitches. That's what people are going to use as their excuse now. Oh, I was going to comment, but I got an error. I was going to comment, but then I got an error on the website. Next up is 90936. This is a blatant violation of our firearms rights. I cannot accept the ATF being allowed to ban or regulate homemade firearms, kits or otherwise. This will simply punish average law-abiding gun owner. the average law-abiding gun owner. There's no yawn in it. I yawned accidentally. Criminals will still steal, build, and or 3D print their own guns regardless of the law. Ugh. Why don't we just say they're going to get their guns from illegal drug smugglers? Why do we have to say they steal them? Because they don't always steal them. Just because a bad guy stole a gun doesn't mean that when they get, like truckloads of cocaine or methamphetamine or what's that new stuff? Fentanyl. Like, you think that when they bring a truckload of fentanyl in, they don't have a couple of AK-47s on top, or one of them 9mm guns with the big clips in them? Like, they can't get that stuff from their drug dealers? Why they got to steal them from us? Quit throwing ourselves under the bus when we complain to them for trying to infringe on us. If you're going to complain about them infringing on us, fold the stuff back on top of their warped. They created all the problems, so let them know that they're creating the problems in the first place, and don't lean into their excuses and their justifications for why they started the damn problem. All right, just checking on my awesome roof repairs. Knock on wood. We're living in a dry house right now. All right, so it's raining pretty good right now. Steadily misting. All right, we are 37 minutes in, and unfortunately, actually, no, there wasn't very many boilerplates in there. The only real boilerplates in this one today were antis. So that's pretty good. Well, all right, that was me yawning. Next up is the stupid brace one that everybody likes so much. I don't like the brace one because it bores me. Did I mention this one has 46 days and the other one has less than 30 days? What? Yeah, let's go look at that other one again. I have to go over to here, go to my history, maybe this one? Oh, that's awesome. So 26 days left. 26 days left. We don't even have 95,000 comments. There's not even 100,000 comments. When the ATF comes along and goes, or when Biden's people come along and go, so what happened with the comment period? They can go, nothing. They didn't even comment 100,000 comments. They don't even care about receivers. And then they're going to go, ha ha ha, we can do what we want to receivers now. All right, so next we're going to go to the Browse Comments tab of the Stupid Stabilizing Brace one. And then we're going to sort it by most newest first. So we're going to look at the most recent, I should say, the ones that had been recently posted and accepted by the ATF. As I right click and open in a new tab here, 25 times approximately. Some of the commenters are commenting on channels that have been paying attention. Paying attention to the comments or just two-way stuff in general? I guess it's kind of the same thing, but not necessarily specifically the same thing. I'm yawning again, so guess what? While I'm doing this, you're getting a commercial. Except this time, it's for an awesome organization called DC Project.
The DC Project, 50 women descending on our nation's capital to put a face on the Second Amendment.
For me, the Second Amendment is about family heritage.
To defend against hate crimes.
My right to protect my family.
Gives me the right to decide when I need protection.
Because you should never be denied a chance to protect yourself and your loved ones.
My firearm levels the playing field against someone trying to hurt me.
It means survival.
My responsibility.
I am my own first responder.
Because some believe no means yes.
It's a peace of mind.
Provide food for my family.
Recreation and sport.
Confidence that I can take care of myself.
My right to life.
It's my liberty.
I refuse to be a victim.
The protection of my children.
Confidence in our nation's present and future.
Legacy.
Legacy.
And legacy.
My birthright as an American.
And mine too.
Of the commercials that I've horked, that's one of my favorite ones to play because of one of the chicks in there went to the Supreme Court twice to battle the city of Chicago for Second Amendment protected rights, and she won both times. So that's a pretty awesome commercial. All right, next up is the first comment from the pistol brace thing and it is number 121103. This is unconstitutional. This will have no effect other than criminalizing otherwise law-abiding citizens. Next up is the exact same comment. That's interesting. Wow, what's up with this? Are you kidding me? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Every single comment is this stupid sentence. So what's up with this? And why did they let this many be accepted? Are you watching this? This is happening live. Bullshit. This is happening effing live. This is fake. Everything about this is fake. What's up with this? How come it opened up the same comment? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 effing comments, 16. 16 of the most current comments are this stupid sentence. Whoever wrote this stupid sentence, kick yourself in the nuts. I know it's going to be difficult. Work on it, get flexible, and then kick yourself in the fucking nuts, you jerk. What the hell? What kind of wasted fucking time is that? That dick. All right. What the hell? Stupid ass. Come over here. Fuck. How many of these damn things are there? And then the ATF lets them all go through. It's shenanigans. It's bullshit. It's fake. Everything about this is fake. Get upset. Run around screaming. Go outside right now. Throw a snowball or something. It's fake. All right, here we go. 121011. When it comes to us, law-abiding U.S. citizens, banning any firearm attachments, ammunition, or whatnot is an absolute tragedy. A firearm, no matter what attachment it has on it, never grew legs, got up, and killed somebody. Laws just need to be stiffer on criminals in general, but anybody that follows the laws, rules, and regulations of the U.S. government, whether it's at a federal level or state level, should be able to own any firearm with any attachment, brace, or whatever. I'm proud to be an American, proud of the Second Amendment. Focus on mental illness and not taking guns away from good people that want to protect themselves and their family from bad people. All right, so next up is another one that is GO8 boilerplate with a sentence in front of it. We'll just read the sentence. 121017 is the comment number. I strongly oppose a ban on pistol bases. The brace does not change the category of firearm any more than changing the grip or any other handgun would. Vote down this proposed ruling. Next up is completely boilerplate from GOA. The next one is boilerplate from GOA with a sentence in front of it. The comment is 121000. And the sentence is, I am disabled since 2010 with degenerative arthritis. I need an adjustable pistol brace to be able to shoot my guns. The adjustment helps with being able to make it shorter or longer depending on how severe the pain is in my wrist and elbow. Next up is 121009. Sic semper tyrannis. What part of shall not be infringed do you bean counters not get? You are not allowed to do this by law. What's a bean counter? Is that like racist or something? An accountant or financial officer who's concerned with the quantification, especially the exclusion of other matters. All right, I guess you're allowed to say bean counter then. Next up is, what do you call that? Boilerplate from the GOA, 100%. Next one is boilerplate from the GOA with a sentence in front of it. 121008 shall not be infringed. What part of the statement is so hard for you individuals at the ATF to understand? Next up is complete boilerplate from the GOA. At least there's like 3 or 4 boilerplates. Are you kidding me? That's the end of them. First this one is 121004. First, there isn't a law, executive action, that prevents the ATF from redefining items that are first, isn't there a law, executive action, that prevents the ATF from redefining items that are already defined? Second, if it's not a law and the ATF defines a pistol brace as being an NFA-controlled item, can I just say no, it's not, and it holds the same weight in an argument? Best schoolyard win all statement? If the ATF continues to fall in line with whatever political party is in office at the time, I don't know. The ATF continues to fall in line with whatever political party is in office at the time. If I am not mistaken, everyone in ATF has taken an oath to defend and uphold the Constitution from enemies foreign and domestic, not a party in particular. This is an absolute abuse of power by the ATF and needs to end now. I do not support the ATF in this pistol brace proposal. That was the 25th because of some jerk put in a stupid sentence like 1,000 times. So it's a bunch of boilerplate. So what we're seeing on the pistol brace side is like broken garbage, I guess. It's like filth. It's like what you pull out of a pool filter and then like it starts to accumulate and we're like, oh yeah, we got a lot of it, except it's all filth and gross. So I guess I'm going to go back to the pistol brace one, zoom it down a little bit, and then sort by newest to oldest, sort past all the stupid ATF's attempt to obfuscate the data by putting in jerk sentence 1,000 times. And I'm going to go to the second page and I'm going to pull 5 or so consecutive ones. And then I'm going to go to an odd number page and just randomly pull another, instead of randomly, I'm going to start pulling like 10 at a time so that I have a sequential group of them. Shouldn't have done that. So I have a sequential group of them. And I think, even though I'm not a fancy brain doctor, what I can do is act like this is scientific. So I'm going to do this. All right, so now we have a bunch of just weird random ones that no one can prove where they came from. So what do we got? ATF or GOA boilerplate. GOA boilerplate. And here's one that says 121063. Appointing David Shipman to be director of the ATF is the same as appointing Harold Shipman to be head of the Department of Health. I don't even know what the hell that's supposed to mean because I don't know who Harold Shipman is and who the hell cares about the Department of Health. What the hell? It has nothing to do with anything. So that's an anti. Next up, 121044. Please stop the insanity of changing your mind on pistol braces every couple. Okay, here's a good. Let me zoom in so that you people can read. That's too many. There, 170. It's a good amount of magnification. Please stop the insanity. Does anybody know what that is? Anybody remember that? Boom. Stop the insanity of changing your mind on pistol braces every couple years. Gun laws need to be stable so we know what to buy and what not. In this case, the bracing system works just fine under your current definition. The pistol is 26 inches or less in length, the barrel is less than 16 inches, and the butt is a brace, not a full stock. There's no good reason to throw out this hard-earned definition of yours and start over. Why would you want to criminalize millions of gun owners or millions of owners of such pistols and braces? Because we said so is not an acceptable answer for a public agency that serves all Americans, not just the element that despises guns. I urge you to drop this request and reclassify AR pistols as SBRs because they are no such thing. I urge you to drop this request to reclassify ARs as SBRs because they're, okay, I butchered it, but this is definitely on our side. Let's see. That is a good one. Next up is ATF boilerplate with a sentence in front, 121073. Stop messing with the law-abiding citizen and focus on real problems like gangs and organized crime and their gun-related crimes. Next up is 121205. This will criminalize millions of otherwise law-abiding citizens. Ugh. Look at that. 2 in a row of that same sentence. Do you think like you accidentally go through all the bullshit of commenting? No. Like, come on. And I don't understand why somebody would do that. Next up is 121206. This is unconstitutional. This is unconstitutional. This is unconstitutional. And then this is unconstitutional. This will have no effect other than criminalizing law-abiding citizens. Come on. What is this? Why are they letting this many go through? Look, I don't fault the junkie for being addicted to writing stupid, dumb, short comments, right? They're just a junkie, right? I fault the idiot who lets the junkie take the fucking microphone and give them the thing. They're horking this whole thing. Riot. Riot in the sense of quiet riot. Like, don't actually riot, but throw snowballs all over the place. Throw snowballs in the house. That's what's happening, right? It's chaos. Break a dish. Break a dish. All right, next is 121024. Factoring criteria for firearms with attached stabilizing braces outlines the ATF's plan to spend taxpayer dollars to fund unelected bureaucrats to attack law-abiding citizens. It aims to restrict gun rights. Its aim is to bludgeon good, law-abiding people while the government lets criminals, actual bad people doing harm to good people, run free through our cities. This is wrong. This is about power. This is about playing the long gun game to confiscate any and all firearms. If the ATF is allowed to be the new if the ATF is allowed to be the new Congress to write and rewrite laws, there is no limiting principle. If the ATF can arbitrarily decide which guns they feel like confiscating on any given day, there is no limit to what they can confiscate. I urge the ATF to enforce existing laws and allow the legislator to do their job and write laws. You know, this one is probably not the best because I don't think it actually tells them not to do it, but it has a bunch of good points, and I can't be the only one. There has to be at least one other person who's reading these comments. So if nothing else, this is given all those other people out there this is kind of like writing a comment to each other, right? Like, this is using the system to keep information flowing. So in that respect, I like this one more than just on the surface. Are we really this far into these? There's no way. Yeah, I guess it's because all those stupid duplicates again. Assholes. So next up is a GOA boilerplate with a sentence in front of it. Here's the sentence, comment 121034. You guys need to get more familiar with what you need to get more familiar with what it is you're trying to push because there is too much gray area. Do you even know what you're talking about? From what I've heard, you do not. The last one is 121086. It's a real one. I find the proposed rule change regarding pistol stabilizing braces to be unacceptable. The proposed scoring sheet is a myriad of confusing, contradictory, and extremely subjective criteria that, if misinterpreted by a single person, could result in felony charges being brought against a person who is choosing to equip a firearm with a brace for their own use. Individuals who purchase braces for firearms have already demonstrated their eagerness to comply with current regulation, in that they have purchased a device that costs a vast sum more than a stock. Nobody has said that ever in the express. Look at that. No one has ever said this. That's a completely unique comment. I'm going to copy and paste that. I'll read it again. Individuals who purchase braces for firearms have already demonstrated their eagerness to comply with current regulation, in that they have purchased a device that costs a vast sum more than a regular stock, in the express interest of not running afoul with the NFA while gaining a stabilizing platform for their firearm. So that was awesome. I'm so glad this was included and we didn't miss this one. This arbitrary and capricious worksheet of criteria is unacceptable, and this rule change would directly negatively impact millions of law-abiding gun owners in the United States. I am strongly opposed to this proposed rule change and find it to be a reckless overreach of this agency's regulatory power and not in the best interest of the American people. I don't know. There's been some amazing ones today, and this one was awesome. So, all right, I guess here's the deal. ATF is screwing with us. We all know it. It's happening right in front of our faces, and we're all having to watch it happen in front of our faces. I don't know where they get off with this whole. First off, we haven't been given them enough comments, so that's everybody's fault, right? Everybody can look around, and if you're looking at somebody, they haven't commented, you should say stuff at them and give them weird looks, and then if you're making brownies or cookies or something, Ask people, did you comment to the ATF? And if they didn't, don't give them a brownie or a cookie or whatever. Be like, you got to go comment to the ATF first. There's no law that says you can't make brownies and then not give them to people who haven't commented and then give them to the people after they've commented. There's nothing in the laws that say you can't do that. So first off, we need to give them more comments. And then secondly, they need to quit like allowing every single comment to go through. We've seen it. We have evidence. This video will probably be used in the Supreme Court as evidence against the ATF being a bunch of jerks because we've seen that they are not filtering the things at all. Also, there's too many antis. So there's too many anti-comments. And the way to anti-comments is through education, not by legislation or being mean to them. You educate them. They're idiots. They seriously think that ghost guns are an issue. All you got to do is explain to them the real life situation. It's education. Everybody's got a YouTube channel. Everybody can participate in that. If you don't, you're not 2A. Everybody knows that. 2A will be completely repealed within our lifetime thanks to mass immigration. 80% of immigrants vote to restrict 2A. Where the hell you get that idea? That's a stupid ass idea. 150 plus cross the border every single month. You're an idiot, dude. What kind of idiot do you think you're talking to? So no, that's completely wrong. These are people that are fleeing oppression. They're coming to a country that offers freedom. It's more like the other way around, dingus. So get out of here with your stupid ideas. If you're trying to push that agenda, you're stupid. If you think that that agenda is real, wise up. But don't try to push that crap around here. What if we offered bacon for comments? Well, it's up to you. I like a vegan brownie. Although, what's worse, chocolate or bacon? See, you don't even know. No, okay, well, leave then. Get out of here. You're not in a place that's going to oblige your dumbassness. All right, well, the rest of it, though, is 100% correct. That the ATF is screwing with us. They're screwing with these comments, and I think the best way we can mess with them is to be aware and potentially comment. Unless you're Stu, then just go stew about it. Go get angry at somebody else. It's somebody else's fault, but it can't be our fault. But you could also participate in the system that's lasted through 2 world wars and a civil war and all the other strife and whatever, and it has allowed humanity to go, get out of here, dude. Here, let me help you get out of here real quick. We'll jump over here. War and all the other strife and whatever, and it'll just take so long. Whatever. Zero tolerance. All right. So, ammo or lumber for comments? Now you're talking. It is crazy. I went to the store the other day, and wood does cost a lot of money. I can vouch for that. All right. So with that, we're about an hour in. Unfortunately, we were able to read 25 of the redefinition of firearms and 25 of the pistol ones, and then another pile of pistol ones because so many of the pistol ones are fake and are being what is this called? I can't ever think of it. They have the approved ones. So many of the duplicates are being approved that they're definitely pulling something shady. They're going to probably suggest that they don't know what's going on, although the bureaucracy, the people that work for ATF don't get rehired, when the administration gets changed. So this is the same people that did the comment period for the pistol braces right before Christmas in December. They're definitely doing something intentionally different this time. And I guess, we'll have to find out. It would be curious to find somebody who knows or has some insight as to what might be doing it, or what their plan might be. But I don't know anybody who would actually have that kind of insight or that kind of access to know. There are some people who are like ex-ATF agents that used to get interviewed. They usually only come up or get interviewed when there's some sort of reason for the people to interview them. So I don't know who those people are. Otherwise, they might be somebody to ask. People I knew back in the day were, not working in DC, so I don't know. So anyway, I don't know if we're going to get answers on that or not, but we'll continue to monitor and keep up with it. We went through at the beginning of every show and update the sort of running totals that we keep on the comments on this video. And you could see that I think it was only like a couple of hundred on one of these, the Bristol brace one, I think, and only a couple of thousand on the redefinition of firearms. So it's telling us that we're losing interest, we're losing any kind of momentum. We have 26 days left on the redefinition of firearms. We have 46 days left on this one. That's 46 days of opportunity on this one and 26 days to get out the word and to watch people get active on the pistol one or not. And then we'll see the consequences of it. We've seen in the past consequences both ways, with the M855 and with the bump stocks. You know, we've seen success and we've seen failure, and it happens right in front of us, and it happens slowly, and it happens on YouTube. So people can observe, people can participate. The choice is up to you. I appreciate you jumping in and being part of the show, especially the dudes like this dude and this dude and this dude. Oh wait, that's all the same dude. So this dude and this dude, not that guy, but this guy, and so forth. This guy and this guy. I'm saying guy, but they could be gals. I don't gender them. And then I think that's it. So all the people that jumped in, thanks. And we'll be back to pick you up later.